The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "You have learned how it was said to our ancestors, 'You must not break your oath, but must fulfill your oaths to the Lord.' But I say this to you, do not swear at all, either by heaven, since that is God's throne, or by the earth, since that is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, since that is the city of the great King. Do not swear by your own head either, since you cannot turn a single hair white or black. All you need to say is yes, if you mean yes, no, if you mean no. Anything more than this comes from the evil one." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
I think this thing about swearing is not something really common here in the Philippines. I don't see a lot of people swearing, but it's a big thing back at home, and maybe in the West you can find people casually say, I swear to God, I swear to God. Like, people just casually do this kind of swearing. But back at home in Nigeria, and I think in Cameroon, many parts of Africa, there is still a lot about swearing. And swearing is really a presupposition that people do not trust each other. And when people have to swear, it is a guarantee that what I am speaking is the truth. So people don't trust each other, therefore they have to guarantee the fact that they are speaking the truth by swearing. And I find it, and it's really a bad practice back at home, because it goes even devilish and traditional, especially in situations where somebody dies. If somebody dies and there are suspicion, this is a kind of a suspicion that he did not die naturally, or that he was murdered, then the suspects will be brought up to swear, to do a swearing, to take an oath that they have nothing in the death of that person. And it's done traditionally, and they even use not magical powers, but witchcraft and all that. And at times, the things that accompany that are really evil. Like, for instance, they wash the body of the dead person, and then you swear with the water that they use from washing the body. So you have to swear with that water, and at times they force you to drink it. That in itself is very poisonous. It can kill you already. So, and people who even practice this would even be Christians. See, Christians who would all go to church on Sunday, and then the next day they are doing all this. So they have to do that, and just to assure that they have nothing. They are innocent of somebody dying, for instance. And therefore, you would find those kind of practices, like in Africa, is very, very strong back in my own country about swearing, and people have to swear to make sure that, to assure people that they are speaking the truth. And swearing is a presupposition also that we don't want people to lie. And therefore, it makes us really not to trust each other, and also the fact that it makes us liars somehow, because we are not really sure. We have to guarantee that we are speaking the truth. So it makes us like we are always lying all the time. Therefore, we have to give a guarantee for speaking the truth by swearing. That's why people will say, "No, I swear to God," to just say that what I am saying is true. And this is what Jesus warns against. He says we should not swear at all. All we need to say yes when we mean yes, and no when we mean no. Every other thing comes from the evil one. What does it mean by every other thing comes from the evil one? Is because if we lie, if we say yes when we really mean no, or no when we really mean yes, we are lying. And therefore, when we are lying, John's Gospel chapter 8 verse 44 says that we are children of the devil, because the devil is the father of all lies. John chapter 8, verse 44. The devil is the father of all lies. So we have to speak the truth because Christ himself, John's Gospel chapter 14, verse 6 says, He is the way, He is the truth, and He is the life. Again, when we speak the truth, then we belong to Jesus, we belong to God. And it says again in John's Gospel chapter 8, verse 32, that we would know the truth, and the truth will set us free. And when Christ sets us free, then we are free indeed. So the truth is something that should come naturally. Lying is not something, of course, lying comes because we want to protect ourselves, we want to justify ourselves because of the pride in us. Maybe we don't want to see people to look down on us because of what we have done, and we don't want to take the consequence for our actions. Therefore, we have to lie in order to cover up. And that in itself is sinful because it is trying to exalt ourselves. It's some part of pride that we don't want to betray ourselves in front of people. Therefore, we have to say something that is not right, something that is not true. And that is why swearing has come into being, because we no longer trust each other. We have to swear to give people a guarantee that what we are saying or what we are speaking is the truth. And therefore, the Spirit of God, the Spirit of truth, is no longer in us if we begin to practice that aspect of swearing all the time. That's why Jesus says, you should not swear at all. Not even by God. Like when people say, I swear to God. No, don't swear by God. And Jesus warns against that. Don't swear about by heaven. You don't swear by earth. Don't swear by yourself, because you cannot change anything. I remember even when we were kids, we used to practice that. Like, we have to assure my parents, for instance, that I didn't do something that they are accusing me of. Then I have to lick the ground. I put my finger on the ground and then I lick the ground and I point up. I swear I did not do that. So just to make my father or my mother to escape the kind of punishment, so I have to swear. And I put my finger on the ground and I lift it. I put on my tongue and I lift up. I say, I swear I did not do it. And at times people get justified that by swearing, and they don't trust because they don't trust us. My dear brothers and sisters, Jesus warns us against this. And he wants us to remember that we are supposed to dwell in the truth at all times, because we are followers of Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the life.
Thank you, Jesus.